Hey, everybody. Charles Cook here. Great to be with you. Today is March 4th. It is, I guess, a early spring here at the farm, but just got back from a trip to Europe. I was speaking at a conference in Poland on immigration law, talking about things I've learned in the last 39 years of practicing immigration law. One thing I have learned is that Trump's the worst president. It didn't take much learning to realize that on immigration. So we've got a number of things to do today. Hoy día voy a hablar en los dos idiomas. I'm going to speak in both languages today. Voy a hablar los dos. Hoy día estamos regresando de mi viaje a Polonia y hablando de los asuntos de inmigración y, por supuesto, contestando sus preguntas. So we'll be doing both today, kind of mix it up a little bit. Next week, by the way, I will be in Peru for a family trip, and I will try to get on at the same bat time, the same bat channel, but there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that I will be available to do that at 1 o'clock. I might be a little bit early, might be a little bit late. Depends on what my grandkids would like to do at that particular time of day. But if possible, I will certainly be on from Pisco. All right, so let's talk about the things that were really, really important today. The first thing we're going to talk about, we always talk about, is DACA, right? It's what's going on with this judge. I haven't seen anything today about a DACA decision, so I suspect that nothing has happened. I have reached out to a colleague of mine that's involved in that suit. I have not heard back from her, but hopefully by next week I will hear from her, and I'll be able to give you kind of an insider update. But at this point, unless the parties file a motion for or a request for a status conference, I can't even tell you when the judge is going to make a decision. I can't. I just don't know. I know it's incredibly frustrating that this is going on like this. It's frustrating to everybody, and I imagine it's almost equally as frustrating to immigration, for example. But the only thing that's happened in the last month, there's some lawyers leaving, some lawyers coming in. I assume that a lot of those are government lawyers, or I don't even know who they are. But the last substantive filing was over a month ago, and now we sit here waiting. We all know what the decision has to be, and we all know that he's just waiting so that he can not have to do what the Fifth Circuit said he's supposed to do, which is really kind of outrageous when you think about it. And maybe he was waiting until after the Texas primary, which was yesterday. I don't know. Hopefully he's not going to wait till Paxton loses 4 months from now. That would be, honestly, at a certain point, it becomes problematic, like now. So as of now, everybody in Texas, you keep renewing your DACA. And please, I have talked in the last 3 weeks, to a dozen DACA recipients who come to me and say, my DACA is expiring, and I filed my request and I haven't heard back, and I'm going to lose my work permit. And I asked them, well, how long before filing did you file? Well, I filed a month. I filed 2 months. I filed 5 months. I'm telling you, file a year in advance. What's quite clear that's happening both on the advanced parole aspect of DACA and on DACA itself is that I don't think USCIS is slow walking cases. I think they have substantially reduced staffing. We know 20% of people quit. We know that, right? 20% quit. They didn't want to be part of Trump's parade here, or they retired. They took the early retirement. We know that for a fact. So what we also know then is that they have fewer people working on a case. They haven't hired anybody that we can tell. So if there's just 20% fewer people working on DACA cases, that will lead to a substantial backlog. And we know that they don't really want to approve advanced paroles, but they have to do them because that's the rule. And so right now we're looking at 13 months, 14 months on advanced paroles, but you can still travel. It's still safe to do so. And just remember this, Trump's only president for 2 years, 9 months, and 14 more days. We can make it. We can make it. Por los que tienen DACA, sigo manejando mi tren que tiene que renovar un año en avance. Renueve su DACA un año más. Yo hablé con un chico de esta semana que Simplemente no lo renovó. I talked to a young man this week who simply, I just didn't renew it back in 2022. I mean, really, I just don't understand that. I would borrow money. I would get credit cards. I would do anything I needed to do to raise the $555 to file that renewal. Okay. So there we go. Now I know a lot of you last year on DACA got H-1Bs, or at least under Biden, they got H-1Bs, and you traveled to the consulate and you got, I mean, this was a lot of people, probably a couple hundred people, but they got an 212(d)(3) waiver. They came back to the United States if they needed the 212(d)(3) waiver. But keep in mind now, to do that, you also have to pay a $100,000 fee. There's also a $100,000 fee. So it's clearly not good at this point. I would also like to point out that those with DACA need to make sure that they don't get arrested. So let's talk about, hablamos de los de DACA porque dijeron que han deportado 84 chicos y chicas con DACA. So we know Christine Noem, although she lies, I mean, obviously the woman doesn't know how to not lie, but they've arrested over 250, 280 people with DACA, and they've deported 84. Now, I don't find that surprising because Biden deported people with DACA too, because if you get convicted of a crime that makes you deportable, you lose your DACA and you get deported. It's really simple. Don't commit a crime. Don't get arrested. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go to parties and drink. Somebody came last week. They got a recent DUI. I'm thinking, what are you really just stupid? I mean, that's just stupid. No debes borracharte mientras que tienen vaca. No debes de beber. Vive su vida sin beber. Live your life without drinking, for God's sakes. So I will tell you that we're representing two different DACA recipients who were deported that should not have been. They were mistakes. You read about the one in Miami that was picked up at her green card and even deported within 10 hours. That woman's coming back, okay? Now, the other case we have was a young man deported to Texas. He's coming back too. Litigation works. That's what we do. Litigation works on this. But the best thing to do is not get arrested for anything, really. And again, if you carry your work card wherever you go, have a copy of your DACA approval notice on your phone or in your glove box, and produce it. Look, I have DACA. And if you get detained, call a lawyer immediately, because we can actually file a habeas immediately and get you released. So, it's again, if you have DACA, si tú tienes DACA, no debes huir, no debes hacer crímenes y debes producir sus documentos si lo produzcan. Y si eres detenido, llama a un abogado de inmediato. You guys have my phone number. I'll put it up at the end of the show today. Just call me, really. And for those of you that have traveled, great. Find love. Get a green card through marriage. And for those of you that got DACA before you were 18 and a half, you can still do a green card. You can still do the green card outside. You have to consular process. You can't adjust that. Even if you travel on advanced parole, you cannot get a green card in the United States through employment, because the rules are different for employment adjustment than they are for family immediate relative adjustment. So you will have to consular process, but it's really not a problem. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. And it was, it's important because at the end of the day, we only have DACA. Well, we have this. We got to use it. So far, it's kept people here for 14 years. 14 years that you wouldn't have had. And we think, and it doesn't appear that Trump's going to get rid of it. So focus on renewing your DACA and what is going on with that. Okay. Any questions, you can ask him and I'll answer them a little bit later. Let's do an Iran war update. Okay, this is important. It's a war, by the way. It's not a police action or whatever the hell Trump called it initially. And, it was, and yes, it was stupid to do this. And yes, we're running out of defensive missiles. And yes, they blew up one of our very important radar sites. And yes, it's dumb. War is dumb. And this was particularly dumb. All I need to say about it is, where's the Epstein files? Anybody know where the Epstein files are? Hello, Epstein files? Trump? Where are the missing 3 million pages, Trump? All right, that's it. How does this impact immigration? ¿Cómo impacta la guerra de Irán inmigración? So here's how it impacts it. They have emptied out embassies in 20 countries. So anybody consular processing in the Middle East, all the way into Pakistan, the consulates are closed. Los consulados están cerrados en los países de Medio Oriente, including hasta Pakistan. So they're just closed. So if you were processing a green card in any of those countries, it's closed. And I don't know if Turkey is going to also join that list at this point, but I know we've intercepted at least one missile that Iran was lobbing probably to Incirlik Air Base. So who knows? But certainly all over the Middle East, no, you're stuck, right? You're just there. It also further fortifies the immigration services, basically work stoppage on Iran cases. So if you're from Iran, immigration is just literally not doing your case. They're just holding it. Now, we're going to get to the litigation in a second, but that's the impact this war has on that, is literally stopping update. Now, keep in mind, USCIS is working. I know there's a DHS government shutdown, but USCIS is working. There is no shutdown on USCIS because they're considered critical infrastructure, critical agency. So they have to work whether they get paid or not. And of course, they're getting paid because they're paid by filing fees. They're not paid by tax dollars. So that's how the Iran war is impacting immigration. But we've also got the update on the H-1B lottery, sorteo de H-1B, empieza hoy día, starts today. Your employer has to fill out a much more complicated form now to apply in the lottery. And the lottery goes through, I believe, the 19th, 18th, 19th. So it's good for 2 weeks. And then right after that, they'll announce the winners. The difference in this year's lottery is that the higher your salary, your wage level, there's 4 wage levels. The higher your wage level, the more entries you have in the lottery. So if you're at a level 4 wage, which is substantial wage for a lot of people, then you have 4 or maybe you have 8 entries. I forget what it is. Instead of just 1 entry if you've got a basic entry level job. Nonetheless, I can tell you that we're filing fewer H-1B lottery filings this year, and I imagine most people are. So you still have a much better chance winning the lottery this year than you probably have had in any other year. So congrats. Talk to your employer. If you need help with that, you give us a call. Let's do a lawsuit update. We've got all these lawsuits, right? I'm, as you many of you know, como ustedes saben, yo soy parte de IMMPact. I'm part of IMMPact litigation. And we've got, these are really amazing lawyers: Jesse Bless, Zach New, Aaron Hall, Greg Siskin, John O'Bailey, really terrific lawyers. And we're not always the first to file, and there's a reason for that. You don't always want to be the first. What you want to be is the most thorough, and you learn from others. And I want to give a big shout out to my friend Curtis Morrison. He's doing God's work out there. He's kind of paved the way for some of these lawsuits. He's got a big hearing today, and I wish him lots of luck in that. But let's look at the individual lawsuits. Let's start with our 39-country lawsuit. This is our 380 plaintiffs in Georgia. That you're not all in Georgia, but we filed in Georgia. It has been fully briefed. We have oral argument on the 18th of March. Zach New and I will be doing that oral argument in front of Judge Grimberg. We like Judge Grimberg. We think he's a very fair judge. We could have gotten a lot worse. I don't think we could have gotten much better. So we're good with that. We think we have a really great argument on this case. And we will move forward on the preliminary injunction. Oddly enough, the government has not filed a motion to dismiss in that case, which is odd. But nonetheless, that's kind of where they are. That's the update on that. Next, the lawsuit on F-1 visas, F-1 visa revocation lawsuit. The government answer was due on Monday. And instead of an answer, they filed a motion to dismiss, which we completely anticipated. We think their motion to dismiss is garbage. Honestly, I just think it's garbage. They just did it. And we now know, by the way, that the Department of State has told the U.S. attorneys to oppose every lawsuit, to fight every single lawsuit, which is not good faith, of course. We know that. And so we are preparing the response to the motion to dismiss. It's due next Friday. I suspect we'll file before then. But I think we're in really good shape with that. Okay, so that's the F-1 visa revocation lawsuit. And my colleague, Jonna Bailey, should have sent all our plaintiffs an email with that, just like the 39 country folks had their call. We should send an email out because we don't have anything to talk about. It's a standard motion to dismiss. All right, next piece of litigation is the $100,000 H-1B fee. That oral argument was last week in California. It went well. The judge is going to delay ruling on it, I think, until after the oral argument on March 9th on the DC case in DC Circuit Court of Appeals. I think we have really good arguments there, and the SCOTUS's decision on the tariff case is very helpful to us, because our key help here has always been the tax, right? This is a tax, not a fee. It's a tax, and the president can't impose taxes. That's not a fee, because fees have to be related to the cost of doing something. So I think we got a really strong case there. Okay. Let's see the lottery case. All right, so we're gearing up for the DV 2026 lottery. We have 75 plaintiffs. We need 25 more plaintiffs to get started here. And so tell your friends and family. Now this, I know there's going to be there's a lot of consulates that are part of our case that are closed currently. Now this Iran thing is not going to drag out. Trump always chickens out. This is not going to go forever. This is not the Iraq war. So I suspect within 4 to 8 weeks, it'll all be over. They'll go back to processing DV cases in those countries. But right now, they're just not, you don't understand, they just stopped working on them. They're just not doing them. And that's illegal. So go ahead and join that suit. We've extended the sign-up deadline until next Friday just to get more plaintiffs in. And we'll go from there. The last one, of course, is I thought I had that on here, our 75 country lawsuit. This is for the consular case. Zach is getting that ready to file, writing the complaint right now. And we hopefully, I think, have that filed this week. So for the 75 country folks, and also the 39 country folks, we are adding more plaintiffs. So if you're not part of our original filing, we will be filing a second lawsuit on this. So sign up now. All right. So if you missed the first sign up and you're a part of 39 countries, keep in mind, the government promised a decision on what they're going to do permanently within 90 days. And that was a week ago. So they're breaking their own rules. So I think we've got a really good case there. And I'm really, really excited about that going forward. All right. That's a lot. I think that's all our updates that we were going to touch on today. Just keep in mind, if you want to make an appointment, you just call 404-816-8611. That's our number to make appointments. You could also make appointments directly at immigration.net, inmigracion.net in Espanol. And, you guys can always email me. I answer all my emails. Yo contesto todos mis emails, inglés o español. All right. So we got a lot of comments here today. Woo-wee. Is it safe for DACA recordings to travel within the United States? DACA recordings. What recordings about DACA? Yes, it is 100% safe for DACA recipients to travel inside the United States. Carry with you your work permit and your DACA approval notice. You're fine. Okay? And that's on the plane, train, automobile. Hello, Mr. Attorney. How are we doing? Good, the Juan Ocampo 23. I know Carlos Espina likes to help, but sometimes spreads nonsense. I have no idea who Carlos Espina is. Saw that ICE will detain you if DACA is expired, even if renewing. Is that true? Well, technically, you don't have DACA if it's expired. So yes, it's true, technically. So when should you file your DACA renewal? 1 year in advance. I've been screaming this for years. I don't know why other lawyers are telling you to file it 5 or 6 months. They're wrong. A year. File it a year. All right, Victor. Hello, Mr. Cook. First of all, thank you for all you do. Question: do you believe the political article last week that said DH were $80? Oh no, I think that's true. Victor, as I said in the update earlier, Biden deported DACA people. Look, this is a group of 500,000 people. Do you not think that 0.01% every year commits a crime? Sure they do. And what we don't know is, did they deport DACA people with active DACA? Or these people that are expired? That's what we don't know. So, but that's not surprising at all. We've deported DACA people every year since 2013 because people do stupid things. Don't do stupid things. Really. Lisbeth, hi, attorney, quick question. I did my H-21D myself. Okay. Forgot to upload my 94. Uploaded my case and I just submitted it yesterday. We'll get denied. Don't worry about your I-94 card. You're fine. If they want it, they'll ask for it. Yeah. Okay. It's not going to get denied for that. Hello, Charles. Any update on the? Yes, I just gave the update. We've got 75 so far, and we changed the filing deadline to the 14th. We still plan on filing on the 21st, but we want to get more plaintiffs. We need more plaintiffs. We can't file with the numbers we have, so it's not viable because we're going to be going on appeal probably. So we need to add plaintiffs. Good afternoon. If the court ruling is that DACA is only legal in Texas, can if change requirements later on could enroll? Sure, if he follows the rules. But keep in mind this is absolutely the Department of Justice entered into an agreement with Florida that no president in the future would ever use deferred action for anything. It's utter nonsense, but yeah, that could change. When filing perm, why would you not provide ICE number when requested by the company? This is not the experience that they've had with other immigration. Why would your legal company not provide IOE number? I have no idea what you're talking about. An IOE is USCIS. There is no IOE number when filing a perm. Perms aren't filed with USCIS. Brian, I have no idea what you're talking about. I think you're getting bad information. There is no IOE until you file the I-140. And of course we share that with our clients, get copies of everything we do. So I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you can explain yourself. Ivan Martinez, my lawyer told me I couldn't renew. Ivan, your lawyer is wrong. And all you need to do is ask the thousands of people that have filed a year in advance. You're not replacement. You're getting the full 2 years. Your lawyer's wrong. All right, Deadmore. Hey, good to see you. All right, Munthar. Can DV applicants who've not received it yet on? Yes, absolutely. Anybody who doesn't have the visa in hand can do it. That's okay. You can be part of the other pauses too. The lawsuit will go after all of those. It will. The lawsuit will have to go after all those for DVs. It's DV specific. What happens if you voluntary deportation and have DACA now? Nothing. You have an order of removal. So you still have DACA. DACA is deferred action against removal. Thank you for all you do. What counts as a public charge? Does it apply to DACA person who AOS through? Of course it does. Public charge applies to you. And so you've got to show that your son can fully support you or that you have 40 qualifying quarters of work. Now, we've seen immigration not understanding the 40 qualifying quarters of work and asking for, many DACA people have that, and then still asking for support from the child. Again, use a lawyer to get that done. Can you travel to Puerto Rico with DACA? Yes, of course you can. DACA is in Puerto Rico, United States. But I don't recommend it. Why? Because the Border Patrol does stupid things. They do stupid things. Why? What do you want to go to Puerto Rico for? Really? Go to Iowa. Really? Stay out of Puerto Rico, honestly. But people with DACA live in Puerto Rico. Hola, abogado. ¿Alguna noticia para los nuevos aplicados de DACA? Ya los hice. How does your branch work in Virginia? Our firm works all over the United States. How much longer does Judge Hannon have? There's no timeline. He could take 100 years, which is why hopefully the parties will soon be filing a motion for a status conference to find out what's going on. Britt Simon, how much interest? Britt, good to see you, my friend. Britt is the world's expert on the DV lottery. Britt, we've got 75 as of last Friday. That's why we extended the deadline because we need more people to join. Put the word out, Britt. Britt Simon, put the word out. Hello, thank you for, you're welcome, Music Echo Light. Bok choy. I like bok choy, fried with a little stir fry. Is DACA pause as well for the Northern Country ban? Not as far as we know. Nobody's actually brought that up. There's very, statistically speaking, there aren't that many folks that have DACA that are covered by the Northern Country ban, but I don't see that as an issue currently. You can join if you want, but I don't see it really as an issue. Espero la próxima Advance Pro lleva 6 meses. Well, hermano, probablemente va a tomar 13 meses. Hi, since Advance for All is taking so long now, do you think consular is a safe pathway for a married iwi DACA but never could? Yes, perfectly safe to do that. Perfectly safe to do that. You're good. My brother had a little issue with the law prior to DACA. It was disclosed. Still, he should not be worried. If he got DACA, that means he's not inadmissible. He's fine. If you let if you let a U visa work expire, does that mean you no longer have the U visa? No. But typically the U visa it expires the same time as the work permit. So make sure you're extending your U visa. Edgardo Manuel Gómez Guerrero, mi esposo vive en Puerto Rico con DACA, ya no hemos tenido problema, no hay ningún problema. Where are the files, folks? I don't know what files dipped in butter is talking about. Ernesto Reyes, buenas tardes, abogado. Una pregunta, ¿qué pasó con la demanda y la visa? Ya pagué los 2,000, hermano, estamos devolviendo el dinero. Solamente tuvimos 3 personas que quisieron seguirlo y recibirás el dinero. Lo siento, necesitamos más gente para hacerlo, para justificar tanta litigación. What will be the impact on H-1B with the new set of questions on H-1B? Exactly. What they're looking for, what they're trying to do is match up the winners with their H-1B filing eventually, so that nobody puts in a level 4 wage, but then pays the person a level 1 wage. So, and I haven't seen any guesstimates on registrations, but I would suspect it'll be down at least 10 to 20%, because that's what we're seeing from our own practice. Pablo Alcaraz, Mr. Go, what would happen if you have a prior voluntary departure but have DACA now? Nothing, because you have a removal order. You don't have a prior voluntary departure, you have a removal order. Because you didn't leave. If you have a valid work permit through a U visa, does it still need to renew my work permit? I honestly, immigration, I have heard, will only approve one of those. That's what I have heard. If you have the wherewithal, I would file for both. Obviously, the U visa technically is better in some respects because ultimately you're getting a green card. But they're trying to deport people with U visas and deferred action with the U. So the DACA is safer in the context of avoiding removal. What is there? Any available for DACA business owners? Nothing. There's nothing unless you got $1 million, then you can buy a green card. Good afternoon. I am doing well, Marco. I am doing well. I let my U visa work as expired. Does that mean my U visa case is gone? No. Again, you have to look at the approval notice, Barry. Look at the approval notice for the U. When does that expire? If that's expired, you can get it back, but you have to go through a process. We can help. Give us a call. Good afternoon. Hope your family doing well. Any videos of your presentation in Poland? There is a video of my presentation in Poland, but it's limited to the people that went to the conference, as far as I know. So, yeah, sorry, 29 Super C. Good to see you. Angel, Le Wife. Good morning. I'm kind of losing hope with getting DACA's first. Should I lose? Don't lose hope. It's going to come back. I really believe that. Charles, enjoy the show. I heard ICE or DHS is sending out check-in appointments to DACA recipients. That's probably true to DACA recipients that have removal orders. That's probably true. Go. You're fine. They can't, bring a lawyer if you want to. We've gone to many of these, but you're fine. Hi, Charles. Hope you had a great trip to Poland. My question, my uncle had a court date recently due to admin reopening his case. His lawyer forgot. Asked the lawyer, said he didn't because he thought he wouldn't accept it. Another court date. Is there a possible report? Well, if the judge gave you more time, you just bought more time. I don't think that's, it may be malpractice. Certainly it's not efficient lawyering, but it bought your client another hearing date. If you're going to hire anybody in Phoenix, the guy you want to talk to is Yasser Sanchez. Yasser is fantastic. He's out in Mesa, great lawyer. There's a number of really good lawyers in Phoenix, but Yasser is terrific. ¿Qué significa cuando la manda aún la prima facie? Con eso puedo protegerme. Sí, es por la visa U, es protección de deportación, es acción deferida y un permiso de trabajo. How long is ICE taking to process DACA applications? Tanya, that is the $100,000 question, because it depends. I'm on Dreamers Together Facebook page where there's tens of thousands of dreamers. Some people will say, I got it in a week. And then somebody else says, it's taken 9 months. File a year in advance. If you get denied at a consular interview, can you still hire an attorney to fight it? It depends on the reason for the denial. Most consular denials are final, but sometimes you can fight them. Is there an internal memo stopping first time? No, there's not. There is no internal memo on this. None. Hey, Cook, Pablo, what would happen if someone had prior BD and have DACA now married to a U.S. citizen? Well, you have a removal order, which means you're going to need to get that reopened. Well, actually, you don't. You can just file, if you've got a legal entry, done your AP, you just file an adjustment with the 212 waiver. Any update with the non-domicile CDLs? George, I saw something today that they're not gonna ever give them again. Yeah, it sucks. Mi pregunta es, while Trump is president, mi pregunta es, ¿cuándo te mandan la pregunta? Ya preguntaste eso. Rashid, good to see you. Do you anticipate Judge Haywood will strike the APA claim only? Seems like there's more than other claims during the hearing. Well, I think the tax claim is the big claim. So we'll see. I'm done guessing what judges do. How much longer does Judge Haney, again, as much as he wants? ¿Qué ha pasado con la suspensión de visas? A mi hermano se acaba de leer para que el presidente de Guatemala a finales de abril. Go to the interview. Go to the interview. The litigation's moving onward. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi empleador está dispuesto a hacer patrocinarme. Sin embargo, el abogado no contesta tu tiempo después de cambiar. Tú puedes cambiar el abogado cuando tú quieres. Tú eres la jefa, Diana. El abogado no es la jefa. El abogado es tu empleado. Tú eres la jefa. Cámbialo. Llámanos, te ayudamos. Jesse said it will include AOS, but website still says no. Please confirm. That's an interesting question. But yes, we will be including AOS. I'll find out why that hasn't been updated yet. But yes, we'll include there's very few of those adjustments, but yes, we'll do that. It's just as easy to name both of them, right? Es normal que me piden que vaya a poner huellas para renovar DACA. Yeah. Porque ahorita, cada 3 años tiene que tomar huellas. La nueva regla. Okay. Carol, my attorney applied for advanced parole in August, not approved. Yeah, absolutely. You'll have a great time, even with removal order. Mónica, hola, mi cuñada está casada con un ciudadano americano. Ella aplicó para su residencia hace 3 años. Ella no tiene visa y no ha escuchado nada de su caso. ¿Alguna recomendación? ¿Cómo aplicó para la residencia si no tiene entrada legal? ¿Puso un 485 o solamente 130? Deben hablar con su abogado. Mi recomendación es que hablen con un abogado que sabe lo que está pasando. Denpat, do you think you can argue that one was released on parole if you currently have DACA and have no country, and deportation removed? If you currently have DACA, I don't know what you're talking about. What parole? How do you get that? That there's no way that's not an option. If I understand it. Hi, attorney. I applied for okay, already asked that question. Oriel Resendez, how you been? I had administrative closure. Can I still apply for MS Pro? Yes, you can. If judge orders PI for impact, will it be granted to all plaintiffs? For sure. Yes, it's either one or it's a none or all. It's all in one thing. Under a matter of QLE, what about matter of QLE? Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's your question up here about the parole. No, you're not getting around that. Embassy closure, impact visa numbers. Do you see the USC processing? That's really no visa. Oh, no, there's going to be wasted numbers. Oh, there's going to be a lot of wasted numbers. And maybe in September, we'll be filing another lawsuit. There's going to be a lot of extra employment-based numbers next year, too, because there's a lot fewer family folks processing because of this. And all those family numbers are going to come over to employment-based. So that's good for Indian nationals. We're going to get almost all of those. DV26 will be safe with you. Well, I hope so. I'm not the judge, though. I'm just the lawyer. Krishna, hi, Charles. Thanks for doing this session. I have a question about the lottery. Can we submit to 2 different employers? I believe you can. Will both employers be notified, or only one get one? You only get one pick. So whichever the other employer, let's say you get picked, the other employer they'll just lose. They don't notify the employer who's not selected. They only notify the employer who is selected. What's happening, DV27? We're filing. Hola, abogado. ¿Cómo puede quedar for next year? I don't know. They're supposed to be publishing regs, right? We'll see. Hola, abogado. ¿Cómo puede quedar sin efecto la política de detención mandatoria? Tener una elección. Soy de Brasil y estoy a espera de si no puedo participar de lawsuit, o mejor, no, la de 75 países es por los que están afuera del país, por los que están en el consulado. Son los 39 países. Tú puedes participar en esto, los 39 países. Whatever happened to your writ of mandamus lawsuit for DACA? I never filed one. That's from years ago. Yeah, we didn't have to file that because they changed the rules. So that was during Biden. That's like 6 years ago. My employer wants to sponsor me for an H-1B visa. I have DACA, but also have more expensive unlawful presence. They'd have to pay the fee. Plus, you'd have to pray the 212D3 waivers, get it approved while you're out of the country. What if you don't have 100 plaintiffs? Then we will refund people. And they can get their money back and go somewhere else. So get plaintiffs. Cesar Ochoa, my DACA is due late October. I wanted to start late this month, but the attorney I consulted with told they don't do it. Well, get a different lawyer. No, your lawyer is wrong. File now. Now. The lawyer is wrong. Oh, my God. Hola, after PD is current, I-140 approved, already DQ, since how long does it take to send my case to the embassy in Bogota? Well, they're stopped. They're not working on your case. You should join the lawsuit, 75-country lawsuit. How long to splice? Entering the military training can apply for how long to splice? Oh, how long after you go to military training can you? So typically you can technically do a military parole in place the day you sign the contract. But most folks wait until after basic training. Can you elaborate on DOJ in Florida not allowing future deferred actions? Yes. I forget which kind of lawsuit it was, but the settlement agreement that Bondi, the attorney, entered into was they agreed on behalf of the U.S. government that they would never use deferred action in anything other than one-off cases. So no mass deferred action like DACA. Yeah, it's nonsense. It's a nonsense settlement. Good AOS lawyer in Dallas, besides myself, because we can do it remotely, Sarah Brown. Hi, attorney. I applied for advanced parole back in August. Not approved yet. So recommend it? Yes, I do. Carol, and you don't have to ask the question once, because 3 times you get taken off the line. Ahora, que entraron las demandas, ¿cuánto tiempo tenemos que esperar por la decisión? Bueno, vamos a mandarlo esa semana. De ahí el gobierno tiene 60 días para responder. Pero puede ser, y vamos a hacer una moción de injunción preliminaria aproximadamente unos 2 semanas después de poniendo la aplicación. How long will the lawsuits last? As long as the courts make a decision on it. Can DACA apply for lottery? Yes, you can. If my EAD recently expired and my job is not terminated, can I continue working since my renewal is in progress? I don't know. Which EAD do you have? Depends on your EAD. Not DACA. Kathy Couch! That's me, Kathy. It's great to see you, my friend Kathy Couch. Where did you learn to speak? ¿Dónde aprendiste el español? Tú sabes, español es de Texas. Y ojalá tuviste un excelente tiempo en Italia por los Olímpicos. Tenemos que visitarte en Morocco. Any update with non-domicile? You've already asked that already. Diana, buenas tardes. El Departamento de Trabajo, ¿cuánto tiempo demora en dar respuesta a una solicitud de mi permiso PERM? Ahorita son 24 a 30 meses. 2 años, 2 años y medio. Hola, abogado. ¿Podría aplicar para el Green Card por medio de mi hijo años, pero tengo DACA y 3 entradas con una revisión? Uno de ellos tiene 3 entradas ilegales. Si son ilegales, no puedes arreglar. Tienes la prohibición permanente. My husband is from Guatemala. We do have an attorney in your office. Just want to come by. Say, be careful if you're a part of any program. Just want to say, ICE come to your house. So ICE came to your house? Brooke, when did that happen? That's news to me. I'd like to know more details about that. I have DACA. I have a removal order in court waiting for them to close the case, and also AOS is already closed because of that. 212. If you have a regular removal order, you can file a 212. If you have an in absentia removal order, you have to do a 212, but it's different. Motion to reopen is in the past easier. Judge Hannon has initial applicants in suspense. Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. Natalie, how you doing? Got your green card? H-1B fee applies to all. No, it applies to people who have to consular process and enter the country under a new visa. It does not apply to people changing their status in the United States. Saludos, abogado. Muchas gracias por mantener. No hay de qué, Alejandra. My mom has a U visa. She's had it for 3 years. She can apply for residence. What she needs is a lawyer. Have her call us and we'll help. If ICE pulls you over and you were here for 10 years, criminal record, have a parent that is a green card holder, yes, you can do non-LPR cancellation. Absolutely. Will you win? Probably not. Why do I say that? Because they deny 96% of them, but it buys you time. I expire 4/27 and text renew now. I'm wondering if I drops my case when it disappears in the abyss until I change status. Well, I mean, I would file now. I mean, if it's a year or less, I would file. Your call, though. Where can we check? And remember, ICE is going to have a time frame. My CS is going to have a time frame to get to. It's not going to happen overnight where you lose your work permit. Where can we check if we have removal order? You can go to EOIR. Just go into Google, put EOIR portal, PORTAL, and then follow the instructions and put your A number in. We've got a question here from Carol. Do you still going to do AP? Yes, I do. Recommended lawyers in South Texas. Where? I mean, that's a big place. That goes from El Paso down to Merida. I mean, where in South Texas? In the Valley? If you're in the Valley, Jody Goodwin is the best. Jody Goodwin is amazing. Mario Lobato, abogado. I have DACA. I live in Texas. Work down in Texas. Go to the north. I have to go through a checkpoint. I say safe to travel. Just really crazy. What would you recommend? Yeah, I think you're fine. You know, if you're got DACA, you're fine to travel. Abogados in California. Bueno, ¿dónde? Loli. I mean, es un estado inmensa. Francisca Colchado. My friend is a Venezuelan national. He entered with an asylum. Married a U.S. citizen. He's been on adjustment of status 2 years. So review. Because, yes, it's paused because of his nationality. He should join our lawsuit. Natalie, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Return removal defense in Maryland. That's easy. That's Ava Banash. AVABENACH. Ava Banash is the best. She is truly a great removal defense lawyer. Crystal Rojo. Good afternoon. So my friend's mom went to go report herself at USCIS Saturday due to having a work permit. ICE took her, from what friends told her, she said they made her sign a paper to them. Now she's retained. They basically deported her. I don't know, Crystal. I would need more information. None of that makes sense. She had a work permit, so they called her in on a Saturday. Why USCIS? Again, this is where you need to make a consult so we can find out what's going on. Okay. I'm a DV lottery winner. Okay. Case now current, but not yet scheduled for my interview. Question is, the lawsuit will benefit you because they're not going to interview you. They're not going to interview anybody, anywhere, unless we win the lawsuit. If you have a reckless endangerment misdemeanor class A, will you get denied when you renew? Possibly. For DACA, possibly. I got a check-in letter with DACA with removal order. Okay, go. Go. Bring a lawyer. Make you feel better. Antonio Pérez, abogado, es verdad que una corte ya dijo que los de que estamos con la C-14 podemos ser de 14. Por supuesto. I mean, C-14 tiene orden de deportación, Antonio. I mean, eres encima de la lista. I mean, el permiso de trabajo es un permiso de trabajo, no es ninguna protección de nada. Do my renew in November DACA expires today. Do my renew. Went to these good licenses, but they said they can do more than what I can do. You filed your DACA renewal in November only four months ago, and it expires today. You can do nothing because you should have filed a year in advance. I'm really sorry. Nothing you can do. You call immigration, but they won't do anything. Vicas, last day on payroll. I admit until date you left the U.S. If you did, at 1st Jan, am I barred for 10 years? Well, when did they withdraw? They withdrew April 2024. And when did you leave the United States? I mean, right now, presumptively, you're only out of status from the cancellation date, the withdrawal date. That was when the clock would start ticking, not the last day on payroll. In fact, you can get paid for that time. You can file a lawsuit and get paid for that time. So if you leave today, you only have a 3-year bar. My friend, oh, where'd I go? Where'd I go? Hold on, everybody. I don't know what happened here. Where is it? Where's Vikas? Oh, there it is. Weird. All right. So next question. New Jersey. Love you, New Jersey. The old stomping grounds. My friend entered through the border, got a deportation order, but lived here for 5 years. She left to return illegally after 11 years. Is that a permanent ban? Yes. Yes. It's a permanent ban. Hola, abogado. Una persona con DACA puede viajar a Puerto Rico sin problemas. Sí. I don't think you should, but you can. I do have another question. My sister is in the Air Force representing my mom to get her citizenship. She's a pro in place. I stopped her to get her in a moment. Not much. Not much. She can tell her she needs to have a lawyer because we actually were able to get case dismissed on somebody in that exact situation. Cuando te mandan la FISA prima facie, ya es una protección con inmigración. Debe ser, pero no siempre. Who to hire in Houston? Oh, that's easy. Joe Perez at Foster Global. Joe Perez, he's great. Jose Perez, Foster Global. How it works, Doc, my daughter is engaged. What do you mean? She has DACA. Engaged to whom? Senor Chuck, is having a legal entry through AP offers any additional protection? No. It just gives you a right to adjust status for a spouse or a child who's 21. Attorney, is it unusual that they send receipts to someone only? They have a big receipt problem at USCIS right now. Big receipt problem. They're taking a really long time to send receipts. So it's unusual historically, but not unusual at the current time. Is it possible to adjust from pending asylum to EB2 NIW 45? No, it's not. Despite what some lawyers tell you, you will be denied. I promise you, you have to consult our process. After initial master for reopen admin closed removal case, how long are they giving the clerk's court date? I don't know. It depends on the judge. It just depends on the judge you're in front of. Afecta la violencia por esposo o esposa. Sale los records cuando va uno entrevista. ¿Usted es el abusadora? Sí, te va a afectar. The judge denied my motion to dismiss because an FBI background check and copy of 45 were not included. Is there a chance he will dismiss it? I don't know. It depends on the judge. They're really being told not to dismiss any cases these days. They're under a lot of pressure not to do that, to find reasons to deny it. My coworker will also be sponsored for an H-1B visa. He always had DACA. Will they have to pay the $100,000 fee? Yes. As Jorge, do you have any idea why you're scheduling asylum interview appointments for Venezuelans who have been in the U.S. since 2016? Because they want to deport as many Venezuelans as possible. Good afternoon. So my friend's mom went to report herself Saturday to having a work permit. Shows her full details. Took her. She made her sign a paper to them. Amenazandola. I don't know what that is. Amenazandola. I don't know what that is. To them, amenazandola. Amenazandola. It's a zeta. Amenazanda. It's a zeta, no an S. She was detained. They basically deported her everything she could do. Well, she already signed her deportation. No, but why would she do that? Why didn't she have a lawyer? My brother had a removal order, and ICE caught him last March, but while intention was able to reopen his case, yet they still removed him. Yes, you could sue to bring him back. We've done this already successfully. Tendré problemas si solicito una licencia en Chicago, vivo en Georgia, mi auto también está registrado acá. Aquí, well, es ilegal, no vives ahí, no cometes fraude. So wife is really scared of doing AP. I keep telling her that I want to hire a lawyer for her to be more comfortable with my decision. Kid's still young, so she asked, why do it? So she can get a green card? I don't know. I guess the green card's not important to her. She'd rather renew her work card every 2 years. Hello, please tell me when you will file your DV lottery claim. I think it'll be filed by the 21st. We don't want to file too early. I mean, that's the problem, right? And because we actually did file it early 6 years ago, and the judge dismissed the case because it was too early. So we'll be filing this before April. 6 months, tough time. It's plenty of time to get this done. I suspect we're going to do a preliminary injunction, so I think we'll have something in place probably by late June, is my guess. Out of curiosity, what made you get into immigration law? Oh, that's a very long story, although different time, different place. Recommended lawyers in Washington State. You know, I don't have anybody off the top of my head in Washington State. And which part of the state? Spokane or Seattle? In Seattle, there is Diane Butler. Diane is fantastic, but I think she's mostly an employment lawyer. Third Night Country Band apply to DACA as well. Yes, it does. I have DACA EAD. Cool. Tengo a mi entrevista. Tengo DACA. Ya hice el proceso, pero tengo removal en absencia. Tengo miedo. Ok, lleva un abogado contigo a la entrevista para bajar el miedo. Is unusual receipts? Oh, you already asked that question. Hello, please tell me when you will file. Oh, you already asked that question. Only ask once. Sandra McHenry, my lawyer left out my divorce decree on my IR1. I went to the embassy. They kept it 5 months and sent it back to U.S. Yeah, that was a mistake. But the divorce decree should have been in the filing. You sure? You sure they left it out? Because I see consulates lie all the time, just like USCIS lies, ICE lies. They lie. But that's crazy, Sandy. I do have another question. My sister is then in the Air Force. Where's my mom to get her sister? She's independent. What can I do? I already asked that question. You know what's going on with Dale? Dale who? You're talking about Dale. And the answer is they're basically not doing it. This is deferred action in unemployment kind of abuse. As far as I know, they're not doing it. Leslie, I am DACA. I want to apply for U.S. for marriage. However, I have permanent bars anyway. Nope. Got the permanent bar. See, if you got the permanent because you traveled as a youth, you should. Our lawsuit is still pending. The government filed a motion to dismiss. We filed an amended complaint. So I would just hold on, Leslie. We're litigating this issue if you have a permanent bar because of 2 travels while you were a kid. Okay, I have DACA that recently expired. My news in process. My job hasn't terminated. Can I continue working? Well, legally, no. But it doesn't make you any more documented. Any updates on I already gave an update. Edgar Martinez. Can I travel to New York City with active DACA? Sure. Have a great time. Abogado, en Connecticut, por favor. En Connecticut no tengo nadie encima de mi cabeza, Alex. Tendré que buscarlo. Es un bar de abogados pequeño. Interested in doing AP for the first time. My husband, any good lawyers in Greensboro? Yeah. There's a couple good lawyers in Greensboro. I would talk to Jerry. What is his last name? Gerry. Hold on. Let me look it up. Take a look here. We got a live help going like an operator. Jerry Chapman. Great law firm. Really terrific. Clevis, we got only 6 minutes left. You advise to call you if we have DACA and get detained. Yes. Do you know the phone call process works? Yes. That you get a phone call. In regular jails, they treat you like a normal human being, and you get a call. Have your family call. Good lawyer in Arkansas. I would hire somebody in Memphis, and that would be Lynn Susser and Greg Siskin's firm in Memphis. Nelsie Santiago, do it yourself is easy. We do have a lawyer, Alexander Loscano. Don't know who that is. I submitted my AP application last month. It's normal to go to Texas facility. Yeah, that is unusual. But what we know is they're sending work out to areas where they're not as busy. So, any recommendation for an attorney in Miami? Yeah, Jeff DeVore in Fort Lauderdale is great. Jeff in Fort Lauderdale. Lastly, on payroll, you already answered that question. When Hannon rules, absolutely no way other can appeal this. They can't appeal the case. Now they can file a new case if they want to, but they're not going to waste their time. They wanted to put Venezuelans back quick, take over as Choi's chess move against Iran, China. So, yeah, Trump is not playing chess. He's not playing chess. He's playing shoots and ladders. Just join. What doc updates did I miss? You'll have to watch it from the beginning, Snow, which you can do on our YouTube channel. Se considera fraude tener una licencia de otro estado y vivir in Georgia. See. Hi, do we get work permit when child petition for parents who are in the U.S.? Child for parents. The parents get a work permit if the parents legally entered. Recommended lawyers are on Yakima. Oh, Yakima. There's a great lawyer in Yakima, Stephen Robbins. He's the best. In Yakima, Stephen is fantastic. Robbins, really terrific. And I think he speaks Ukrainian, I think his wife's Ukrainian, I think. Is it safe to travel with AP having DACA? Yes. You answered my question. My mom's lawyer is Andra. I don't know who that is. That's not one of those TikTok lawyers, is it? Safe to apply? Yes, it is. Yes, they apologized to me and tried to submit the decree after it was DQ, but the embassy just put us on. Wow, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Lawyer recommendation in Chicago. That's Carlina Tapia-Ruano. She's great. Carlina Tapia-Ruano. You're welcome, Gabriela. Suing the government is one of my favorite things. It isn't okay. Please only ask a question once. Really, I lost my DACA, but still current, already applied, but still processing. Go back to work. I have my 797 form. Well, you can only work with an actual work permit, not with a 797. And we've got Nadib. If you file for DACA, can you get deported? Well, if you let it expire, hopefully you filed a year in advance and it was not expiring. Natalie, I did in fact get my green card. Yay! That's fantastic. The 76 country ban is for consular processing. The 39 country ban is for the United States. Okay. Recommended lawyers in LA, that would be Ana Luisa Padilla, or Victor Nieblas. Jeff who? That's Jeff DeVore, D-E-V-O-R-E. All DV26 interviews are happening, by the way. It's just people getting 220. Yeah, exactly. They're not adjudicating them. Senor, could you briefly explain why there are reports of doctors between ICE check-ins? Well, they would only get an ICE check-in if they have a removal order. If they don't have a removal order, something's going on, they should hire a lawyer. Is military parole in place still free for veteran spouse? It's free to apply, but if approved, you have to pay $1,065. Recommended lawyers in Houston, that's Joe Perez. Do I need to call U.S. after my DACA has not been approved? Well, you can. I don't think it does any good. It is unusual to receive receipts. I'll keep asking. Recommended lawyer in Chicago. Everybody did that. And last question, Evelyn. Pregunta, tengo dos entradas ilegales. Tengo DACA, tengo hija de puede pedirme. Sí, pero tú no puedes arreglar sin salir del país por 10 años. Our DACA renewal is processing for the different country bans. They're not, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't heard them being stopped for that. But you can join the suit and you don't have to worry about it. Well, should I drive or fly to Mexico to do AP? I would fly. And lawyers in LA, Ana Luisa Padilla or Victor Nieblas. And a good lawyer in me. I'm in Atlanta, Freddie. We're in Atlanta. Come see me. All right, everybody. Great seeing you today. Remember, if you need an appointment, you just call 404-816-8611 because I'm Charles Cook. I'm the founding partner at Cook Baxter. You can also make an appointment on the website at www.immigration.net. And finally, you can email me. You can actually email me, and I actually answer questions. And finally, of course, follow me on the Twitter machine. So we will see you next week, hopefully from Peru. It'll be in Spanish next week because I'll be in Peru, living the Peruvian life. Hasta entonces, estamos en Perú semana siguiente, hablando español. Everybody have a great week. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.